Muscle cars have left a lasting mark on car culture, but what makes some stand out above the rest? In this video, we'll find out the top 10 greatest muscle cars ever made. And trust me, this is not a video you want to skip. The 1969 Camaro Z28 hit the ground running, quite literally, with its potent 302 cubic inch V8 engine and superb handling. Now, don't let the official ratings of 290 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque fool you. That engine was closer to the once secret number of 400 horsepower. And it wasn't tire-burning, smoke and noise-filled horsepower either. The Z28 could run with the big dogs, as evidenced by its fantastic 0 to 60 time of just 7.4 seconds. The 302 engine received several internal improvements. It had a 4-bolt main, which, along with the redesigned main bearing webs, ensured that more material was in the right places to handle stress. Also contributing to the engine's ability to take a lickin' and keep on tickin' was the journal crankshaft, designed apparently to go the distance. The redesigned intake manifold and water pump unit set the tone for good overall on-road drivability. Chevrolet's vigorous marketing turned the 1969 Z28 into an icon. It sold more than 20,000 units that year, having earned its badge as an enduring classic. The 1969 Camaro Z28 places in the realm of high collectability. Performance-wise, it was nothing less than a classic muscle car. Camaro, by any name, it was still a vehicle that could take a serious beating and keep on running. Another classic American muscle car. By all means, the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429 is a rare specimen, supposedly made in very limited numbers. Fewer than 1,400 units. Well, it's not easy to find such a treasure in good condition today, and many of these automobiles fetch top dollar at auction. The Boss 429 was made for NASCAR with a 429 cubic inch V8 engine, but to comply with emissions regulations, it was babysat from its wild days on the track. At first, the engine delivered 375 horsepower and raced from 0 to 60 in 7.1 seconds. However, using a few adjustments like a hotter cam and new carburetor, the engine is supposedly able to go over 500 horsepower. The engine was set up to race against NASCAR's Mopar Hemi, and it left its mark on the racetrack, scoring 29 Grand National races. Despite its racing pedigree, the Boss 429 struggled on the street, as the massive engine didn't fit in the stock Mustang's engine bay. For that, Ford had CarCraft modify the car, such as widening the front track and relocating the battery. Today, the rarity and pedigree of the Boss 429 push auction prices beyond $200,000. The 1970 Dodge Challenger RT came with 4 engine choices: the 383 Magnum, 440 Magnum, 446 Pack, and 426 Hemi, famous Dodge engines. The 426 Hemi V8 boasted 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, delivering an exciting ride. It could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds. The RT model featured a special Raleigh instrument panel with a 150 miles per hour speedometer, an 8,000 RPM tachometer, and an oil pressure gauge. It also had a shaker hood scoop. Dodge made fewer cars with the 446 pack engine and the 727 torque flight transmission, producing under 800 units. This makes them prized by collectors. On the Bring a Trailer website, a matching numbers RT with the 426 Hemi V8 and a 4-speed manual went for over $500,000 at auction. Muscle cars like the Chevrolet Chevelle are some of the most popular in the world, and for good reason. The 1970 SS model had an LS6 454 cubic inch V8 engine. This was the most powerful standard production engine on the market, with a factory horsepower rating of 450. It generated 500 pound-feet of torque while offering stout low-end power and manageable torque giveaways to perform a burnout. The LS6 engine featured an 800 CFM Holley 4-barrel carburetor, an aluminum manifold, 11.25-to-1 compression, solid lifters, a forged crank and connecting rods, forged pistons, and deep groove accessory pulleys. It could go up to 6,500 RPM, and 0 to 60 miles per hour could take 6.0 seconds. Moreover, the shape of the Chevelle SS 454 and the high performance of its engine made it one of the distinguished muscle cars of the 1970s. Pontiac was a pioneer of the muscle car scene in the early 1960s. The 1964 Pontiac GTO is often described as the first muscle car, but by 1968 it faced a lot of competition. Pontiac considered making a cheaper version of the GTO with a smaller 350 cubic inch engine called the ET, a term used in drag racing. John DeLorean, the head of Pontiac, didn't agree with that idea. He believed a GTO should never have had such a small power unit. So the team created a more powerful version of the regular GTO. DeLorean called it the Judge after a popular TV show skit from Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. The Judge came with a 360 horsepower Ram Air 3 engine, but buyers could also choose the stronger 370 horsepower Ram Air 4 engine. Arguably, the 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge lacked the strongest engine among muscle cars at the time, but it made up for it with looks and personality. It became a cultural icon, even appearing in the movie Dazed and Confused. The Judge could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.1 seconds, with its 400 cu in Ram Air 4 V8 generating 370 horsepower. When combined with the driver decals, rear spoiler, rally 2 wheels, hideaway headlamps, and a custom grille, it had a one-of-a-kind appearance. The old Cuda's big block Hemi 426 CU and V8 was Plymouth's only big block engine to finish as a standalone big block. With 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, it could reach a top speed of 155 miles per hour. The car could accelerate from 0 to 60 in just 5.6 seconds. Factory stock Hemi Cudas are among the most collectible classic muscle cars today and are seldom seen on the open market. A 1971 Plymouth Barracuda Hemi Cuda, matching engine, transmission, and chassis, is estimated to sell for around $500,000 at auction. It's believed that fewer than 10 Hemi Cuda convertibles remain, which can fetch up to $2 million. The 1971 Plymouth Barracuda Hemi Cuda represents the American muscle cars that once dominated the auto industry, marking the transition of that era by still being one of the last genuine muscle cars to be produced. The 1967 Shelby Mustang GT500 was the fastest Mustang of its time, with a 428 cu V8 engine, making 355 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 in just 6.0 seconds. Like many muscle cars from that era, the power numbers were often listed conservatively, and it's believed the actual output was closer to 400 horsepower. Previously known as Eleanor from the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, it developed into a lasting image of American muscle cars. It was also the final year that the GT500 was built in Venice, California by Shelby American, before moving to Ford in Michigan, being scarce with only 2,048 units produced. The Shelby GT500 is highly desirable and commands high auction prices. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, along with its sibling, the 1970 Plymouth Superbird, is considered one of the most outrageous cars to roll off the muscle car production line. Yet, as one might assume from the name, the Daytona was not intended for street racing. It was developed for NASCAR, designed from the ground up to excel on super speedways, the longest and fastest tracks. To achieve the desired top speed, designers took the Dodge Charger to the wind tunnel. They revised the car's shape among other modifications, such as fitting a nearly 2-foot-tall rear wing, creating a fully integrated rear window, and extending the nose. The results were remarkable. The race version of the Daytona became the first car in NASCAR to register 200 miles per hour. While Dodge was celebrating victory in 1969 and Plymouth in 1970, the NASCAR rulebook saw the last of these cars as they were banned. Today, production versions are available with either a 440 big block or the famous 426 Hemi, and they are collectibles that often sell for over $150,000 at auction. Dodge Daytona's aerodynamic changes brought the drag coefficient down to 0.28, which remains impressive by today's standards. But was it necessary for that gargantuan rear wing to be so high for adequate downforce? Legend has it the real reason was so the trunk could open freely. The 1966 Plymouth Barracuda is powered by an engine that can achieve 0 to 60 miles per hour time of under 10 seconds from its 235 horsepower output. Although many first-generation muscle cars are rare in today's market, The 66 Barracuda is relatively easy to find according to Hemmings. What sets the Barracuda apart is its squat, heavy look and the massive rear window, which gave the car a remarkable futuristic and somewhat unaesthetic appearance at the time. It was based on the Plymouth Valiant and was sometimes referred to as the Valiant Barracuda. While it didn't have the strongest engines compared to other muscle cars producing less than 150 horsepower, it was still fun to drive. It's also loved because it helped pave the way for the Cuda. The Cuda, introduced in 1969, was a high-performance model with an engine output of 330 horsepower, which quickly gained iconic status as a muscle car. The Barracuda played a big role in shaping muscle car history, making it one of the best of its time. Fun fact, the Barracuda and the Cuda are different cars. The Cuda, introduced in 1969, was a high-performance version equipped with a much more powerful engine. The 2020 Dodge Challenger, at its peak, was one of the most powerful production cars ever built. The base model started at around $70,000. Dodge first introduced the Challenger in 1969, and the Hellcat version arrived much later in 2015. The Red Eye Edition can blaze through the quarter mile in only 10.8 seconds. Even though it weighs 4,514 pounds, the Red Eye can fly thanks to its 797 horsepower V8 engine. The best part? It retains the traditional muscle car appearance, along with all the features we've come to love. It comes with high-tech driving features, adaptive suspension, launch control, and high-performance tires for improved handling, speed, and overall ride quality. It also boasts modern technology and comfort. While it preserves the traditional muscle car design, it adds modern tech features like a user-friendly infotainment system, advanced safety equipment, and comfort upgrades such as leather trim and a premium audio system. Finally, the Challenger Red Eye maintains that bold, aggressive muscle car style that sets it apart, with its wide stance, strong lines, and classic elements like the hood scoop and rear spoiler. This brings us to the end of today's video. Quickly let us know in the comments which one of these muscle cars excites you the most. And if you're as obsessed with cars as we are, don't stop here. Check out our other videos. See you soon.